Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you've been following Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun for years, then get ready, because what I'm about to tell you now might just be the moment fans have been waiting for. For the longest time, people labeled their chemistry as acting, their interactions as professional, and their timing as pure coincidence. But today, after everything that just happened, those so-called coincidences suddenly don't look accidental anymore. In fact, they look like a pattern so clear, so undeniable, that fans are now asking the same explosive question. Is this finally the proof that Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun's connection is something more? Let's start from the moment that ignited a storm across the internet. It wasn't a big announcement. It wasn't a public appearance. It was something far more subtle, and that's exactly why it hit so hard. Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun were quietly spotted in two separate places, on two separate days, for two very different reasons, except the locations lined up almost perfectly. Same city, same time frame, same hidden corner of Seoul. And fans didn't miss it. At first, people tried to brush it off, calling it a harmless coincidence. But then the details came in. The timing, the route, the unexpected overlap. And suddenly that coincidence wasn't looking like coincidence at all. Everyone remembers how Min-ho and Go-eun once described themselves as naturally drawn to each other during their King, Eternal Monarch promotions. They said it jokingly, lightly, like it was nothing. But fans have kept those words alive because every now and then, something happens that makes those words feel a little too real. And this time, what happened wasn't small. It wasn't faint. It was the kind of moment that makes even the calmest fans sit up and whisper, "No, in no way. They're not doing this again." Because right after Min-ho's unexpected appearance in that hidden neighborhood, Kim Go-eun showed up in the same exact place. And not days later, not weeks later, we're talking hours. The internet exploded. The hashtags trended. People started digging. And the deeper you look, the more everything lines up in a way that almost feels scripted. But the real twist? Neither of them addressed it. Not even once. No denial. No explanation. No PR intervention. Nothing. Just silence. And for two people who know how quickly rumors spread, that silence says more than any statement ever could. Then it gets even more interesting. Fans noticed that Min-ho posted a photo with a caption that sounded suspiciously like a reply to something Go-eun had posted earlier. His words, her words, they fit together almost too perfectly. Like two halves of a conversation being held in public but meant for someone private. And people who have followed them long enough know this isn't the first time. Their posts have aligned like this before. Matching vibes, matching themes, matching timing. And every single time fans pointed it out, dismissers would say, "It's just coincidence." But how many coincidences does it take before it becomes intention? What makes this moment different is how natural it all feels. Like they're not trying to hide, but they're also not trying to show. They're just moving in sync. Moving in ways that keep bringing them back to the same spaces. Moving in ways that make the timing impossible to ignore. Moving in ways that make the entire fandom sit frozen, waiting for what might come next. People who worked with them have described their bond as effortless, unforced, and strangely in tune. Directors noticed it. Staff noticed it. Even co-stars noticed it. The way Min-ho would glance at her without even realizing. The way Go-eun would brighten when he was near. The way their energies aligned even in the smallest moments. And now, years later, the same pattern is happening again, except away from the cameras. Away from the scripted lines. Away from the spotlight. So when the latest overlap happened, it didn't feel random. It felt familiar. It felt like déjà vu. It felt like watching two people who simply gravitate toward each other, no matter how much time passes or how busy their lives get. And when you add their recent actions together, the timing of their posts, the matching moods, the sudden reappearance in the same neighborhood, the unspoken silence afterward, it becomes almost impossible to view it as pure chance. Fans now believe this latest coincidence is not just another passing moment. It's a message. A quiet, subtle message hidden in their actions, saying that whatever they share, friendship, connection, something deeper, it's still there, still alive, still real, and maybe, just maybe, stronger than before. Some say they're hiding something, others say they're protecting something. But one thing is certain, the universe doesn't pull people together this many times unless there's a reason. And this time, the reason feels clearer than ever. Because what happened recently didn't feel like a reunion orchestrated for publicity. It felt natural. It felt warm. It felt intentional. The way two people cross paths again and again when they're meant to be in each other's lives, not as a coincidence, but as a connection. And now fans are holding their breath, watching closely, because if this moment truly proves anything, it's that Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun's story isn't over. Not even close. Their coincidences are happening too often, too perfectly, too meaningfully. And today, for the first time in a long time, fans feel that spark again. The spark that says something is unfolding beneath the surface. So buckle up, because this isn't just another rumor. This isn't another fan theory. This moment, this timing, this overlap, feels different. It feels like the start of something. The shift everyone's been waiting for. The clue that turns coincidence into confirmation. And maybe, just maybe, the moment that proves everything fans have believed for years. Because if this wasn't a coincidence, then we might just be witnessing the quiet beginning of a story that's far from finished.